Good morning. This is our report for infographic video about Magna Carta for Philippine Internet Freedom or MCPIF. This is presented by Group 7 consisting of Paragas Michael, Perez Emmanuel, and yours truly, Ursabe Eliser. So let's start. General information. So, Magna Carta is about Senate Bill number 53, an act establishing a Magna Carta for Philippine Internet Freedom, cybercrime prevention and law enforcement, cyber defense and national cybersecurity. This is introduced by Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. The Magna Carta for Philippine Internet Freedom is an internet law bill filed in the Philippine legislature. The bill contains provisions promoting civil and political rights and constitutional guarantees for Philippine internet users, such as freedom of expression, as well as provisions on information and communications technology. The Magna Carta for Philippine Internet Freedom was proposed as an alternative to the Cybercrime Protection Act of 2012. Now, let's proceed to the report of Mr. Perez about general provisions of Magna Carta.
Today I'm going to discuss about general provision of the law. Um, Part 1, General Provision. Section 1 contains the formal name of the Magna Carta. Section 2 shows that the content of the Magna Carta still falls under the Philippine Constitution and briefly discuss the power pause that the state expects information and communication technology in the Philippines will serve. These include government transparency and public participation in government activities, information propagation for the improvement of life, and the creation of art and development of culture. Um, Part 2, we got definition of terms, contains one section starting that when possible, definition of terms used in the bills shall be adopted from those established by the International Telecommunication Union, the Internet Engineering Task Force, the World Wide Web Consortium, the Internet Corporation for assigned names and numbers, and the other relevant worldwide organization. It then goes on the list more than 63 terms relevant to the Magna Carta. Um, Also, we got Part G, Internet Rights and Freedoms. Section 4 to 7 talk about individual rights regarding the Internet and electronic device. Section 4 and 5 discuss the rights to freedom of speech and usage and universal access to the Internet. They also discuss bans on Internet censorship and data discrimination. Also, we got Section 6 talk about the right to control access to device under on ownership, while Section 7 look into freedom of creativity on the internet. Um, Section 8 to 13 discuss security. Section and 9 promote data privacy, while 10 to 12 discuss security in terms of a more public realm. Um, Section 13 highlights the use of the internet in government transparency and freedom of information. Um, Part 4, we got the Department of Information and Communication Technology. Section 14 to 19, on the department itself, Section 20 to C to ensure that the department keeps its performance in check by submitting a periodic performance review. Um, Section 21 to 27 introduced the other organization that aid the department in carrying out its duty. Section 28 seeks that ensure that the organization of the government to accommodate these groups. It's under Constitution Section 29 to 32 detail the manner of organization of the personnel under the department. Um, we got here Part 5, regulation of for the promotion of internet right and freedoms. Section 33 declare the Magna Carta's compliance with international treaties and conventions. Section 34 declare the state as the primary duty bearer with regard to the Philippines internet and regulations. And list the duties regarding this in Section 35. These duties include cybercrime law enforcement, cyber defense, and national cybersecurity. The development of skills, resources, and technology for ICT, technology, education related to um, ICT, and intellectual property rights in cyberspace. Section 36 to 42, um, the change made the Constitution to accommodate the Magna Carta. Um, Part 6, Cybercrime and Other Prohibited Acts. Part 7, National Cybersecurity, Cyber Defense, Counter Cyber Terrorism, and Counter Cyber Espionage. Part 8, Penalties. Part 6 and 7 and 8 define cyber crimes and penalties, competent law enforcement agencies, special cybercrime courts and their journal issues, and cybersecurity and counter cyber terrorism policy. Double jeopardy is prohibited explicitly in Section 64 of the Magna Carta for Philippine Internet freedom. Um, Part 9, we got implementing rules and regulation. Part 9 itself focus on the implementation. Oh, this covers implementation of the Magna Carta for cybercrime law, enforcement, ICT education, ICT research and development, and rules and regulation for periodically reviewing the implementation. That's part 9. We got here part 10, final preparation. Part 10 details the concrete instruction to the government for the starting the implementation of the Magna Carta, such as appointing a head and preparing initial funding. This part also includes clause for the Magna Carta's separability from the rest of the Constitution. The repealing of the unmentioned law inconsistent to it and start of its effectivity.
Sample use cases of the law. Case study number 1. A medical practice is hit with ransomware. The billing department of a medical practice received a ransomware demand on their desktop screen. The practice manager contacted their IT support person. It shuts down the network and began investigating. The practice had no access to anything on their networks and switched to handwritten paper records for scheduling, clinical notes, and prescription writing. The IT support provider was not able to solve the issue and needed cybersecurity expertise to investigate and halt the attack. Cybersecurity expert determined that the virus had entered the system as an email attachment that resembled an invoice. Once it was on the computer, the virus searched for the data to encrypt and then spread to the rest of the network. Fortunately, the practice has the practice had off-site physical backup of the most of the record and did not need to pay requested ransom. The backup data was requested from storage, shipped clear from any remnants of the virus, and then reloaded back to the network. Unfortunately, recovery took more than a week due to the method of backup and created unexpected additional charges for the recovery service. Solution. This practice averted devastating failure by having backup data available to reload. The cybersecurity team provide disaster response, mitigation, and recovery service, and then implemented updates and additional protection to lessen the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. Many of the security products in use at the practice were unpatched and outdated and had not been reviewed for years. The team conducted full assessment and submitted a comprehensive plan. Case study number 2. Phishing attack and employee password compromise. An employee regional grocery retail received an email from his coworker informing him that she was sharing a document with him. He had received document from her before, but it wasn't expect but wasn't expecting one day that the email was vague and no project details, which was unusual. He clicked the link and it opened to what looked like it's the usual file sharing site the company typically uses. He was asked to enter his login and password, then got an error message. He tried again and got another error message. The employee contacted his manager to request a password reset and report trouble downloading a shared document. He also mentioned that he called the coworker and she said she had not sent him anything. The manager was suspicious that this was likely a hacking incident. Solution. The cybersecurity team was contacted and immediately reset everyone's password. They verified that the email was phishing attachment using a fake site. They also checked security settings for any suspicious rule changes and informed everyone that at the company about the incident. Two-factor authentication for signing into accounts was implemented to alert users to any new sign-ins from their account. The security team also scheduled security awareness training and testing for this company. Thankfully, the employees alerted the management right away, which helped prevent data theft and compromise. That's all for the Magna Carta